Hey guys, welcome back to Trace Tech, and today is a very exciting day for me. It's a day that I've been waiting for a long time. Today I get to start my new PC build. This has taken me several months to acquire all these parts since I am not sponsored by anybody, so this is just a personal build on my own, and we're going to do it for you on the channel here today. It's not going to really be a how-to build guide. If you watch it closely enough, you should basically get the gist of how to build a PC. And I will probably time-lapse most of the build, but first we're going to go over some of the components that I got for this build, talk about them a little bit, and then we'll get straight into the build because I am super excited and can't wait to start utilizing this new PC. So first off, I'm just going to let you guys know, when you're going to do a build, you definitely need some tools. And for me, I have a very cheap electronic kit. You can usually buy these at Walmart, hardware stores. I think this one actually came from Walmart. I have several different ones of these, but this one's very nice. It's really convenient. It has all your different bits that you'll need. A little magnet, just a couple little things. A ratcheting screwdriver for all the small screws. Secondly, speaking of small screws, I like to keep this magnetic bowl. It helps to not lose any screws or standoffs that you might be removing from the motherboard. And then I also keep zip ties, cable management reasons, a little pair of snips for cutting those zip ties. And when I actually get into the build, I will be removing my extra large mouse and keyboard mat right here from my main desk to build everything on, just so that I have a nice soft cushiony surface. And other than that, definitely want to make sure that you are static free. And they do make bracelets that you can get that help with that. I don't use it. I don't think that I need it, but that's up to you, personal discretion. Anyways, let's start with the components, guys. First off, I have here the ASUS Prime Z390A motherboard. It is a Intel LG, let me make sure I'm saying this correctly. It is, I believe it's 1151, but I'm just going to make sure I'm saying it correctly. Yeah, it's the Intel LG 1151 platform. It supports up to the 9th gen processors. I've specifically picked this because my build is going to be white and black, kind of, mostly white. This motherboard has a lot of white skin on the inside, also some RGB, which you'll understand why that's important for my build here just shortly when you see the case. I think ASUS makes great products. This has the Aurora Sync on the motherboard. Also has two M.2 NVMe slots, which I'm going to be utilizing at least one of in this build. And I just think that the motherboard looks really slick, so that's why I went with the ASUS Prime Z390-A. And of course, if you look at the reviews, I haven't read anything negative about this motherboard. So, and it gives me the ability to overclock if I decide to do that. Speaking of overclocking, the monstrosity that I have here is the Intel i7-9700K. Now, I don't know if I'll do any overclocking, but if I decide to, I have the option. And you know, the i7-9700 was, I think it was only $30 less, so that's why I went with the 9700K. It fits perfectly for the 9th gen LGA 1151 Intel platform that we have on our Z390. And I can't remember clock speeds on this. I know that it's a 3.6 gigahertz 12 meg cache, but I can't remember what you can overclock this to, and we'll probably explore those options in a later video. Next, moving on to RAM. For now, I have started out with Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro 16 gigs of DDR4 at 3200 megahertz. I think that should be more than sufficient enough for me. I like this RAM because it's white, has a little bit of RGB, so it's kind of flashy. Corsair has always been a good company, I believe, and their components have always been really good for the personal builds, which brings me to my cooler, which is also by Corsair. It's the H100i RGB Platinum, the super chilled. So this is also the white version, and it also is the RGB version. If you don't like RGB, you may not like this build, but if you like white and you like clean, you'll still probably like the build. So I've never used this cooler, so this will be my first experience with this cooler, and I'm sure it's gonna rock. So I'm super excited for that. I also ordered some cable extensions from Cable Mods. These are white cable extensions, and that's just to kind of freshen up the look, make it look little more pizzazzy. And also a Phanteks 120mm white fan to just add a little more to the pizzazz. Unnecessary. I'm sure my case fans are just good enough, but you know, this fan's probably a little better and it looks cooler. So, and then my my OS drive and you know, most of the stuff that I'll use on a regular basis will go on this NVMe M.2 970 EVO drive by Samsung. I got a little 500 gig here. I'm super excited to use this. This is my first M.2 drive, so that's going to be cool. And I have a couple other old hard drives that I'm going to throw in that are SSDs. Also, you will notice that I'm missing my PSU and my GPU. Now, my PSU is in this PC right here. That is a 600 watt EVGA 80 plus certified power supply that I just recently purchased. So I'm gonna go ahead and utilize that power supply since it's less than a month old. And I also have a GTX 970 NVIDIA card in this PC that I'm also gonna utilize. I haven't made a decision on new GPU yet. And being that it's the most expensive component of this PC, I wanted to go ahead and wait a little bit on that one and decide what I want in the near future, and I will do a new video when I decide what I'm going to purchase, and I'll do a review over that. You guys will see that I do have the EVGA 600 watt 80 plus certified power supply, and you will see my 970 GTX NVIDIA card in the build process here just shortly. Now that I got all these main components out of the way, I'm going to show you guys the chassis here, which I'm super excited about. And if you haven't seen it on the box yet, you can see it now. That is from NZXT. And you'll probably understand why I went with all the white. But let's go ahead and unbox this big guy. I've always loved these NZXT cases, and I haven't had the opportunity to build in one until now. So this should be awesome. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Get this plastic out of the way. All right, so this is the NZXT H510 case, which I think the only thing different than the H500 and the H510 is that this actually has USB Type-C already on the front panel of the case right here. So I will briefly go over these components as I'm installing them and putting it together, and the rest of the build will be time-lapse just for time purposes on video. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. Alright guys, it's in full effect.
Thanks for watching, guys and gals. I appreciate the likes, and please subscribe if you want to see more content. If anyone has any suggestions, just let me know in the comments below. And until next time, Trace Tech out.